Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, agents. I'm Manny Carl, and welcome to a Let's Talk on the Division. And we're going to go ahead and do a real quick Let's Talk. This isn't going to be very long, but this is going to cover the test patch and stuff like that. And I just want to say that a lot of this news and a lot of this stuff that's coming out, I just want to say this is a public test server. And that means that any of this can change at any point when Massive feels like the game needs to change and that something's not working, it's going to change. So I can say, and a lot of you are like, oh, the weapon ammunition, that's not correct, Mounty Carl. Of course it's not correct. It's most likely going to be in the game, and none of this stuff is correct. All this stuff, skill ups videos, it doesn't mean anything. Eric's videos doesn't mean anything. It all could change. It doesn't matter. You could go ahead and just talk about the skills. It's a test server. That's what test means. We're testing out what works and what doesn't. And that's what that means. So anything that we say can and will be, it could be destroyed tomorrow. It could be readjusted. It could be rebalanced. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Anything that comes out once the patch is deployed, that's going to be the fact of the matter. And I'm just going to be truthful with you. Like everybody's videos right now, all based on the public test server, it's all BS. It's all speculation. It could be in the game. It's all based on what we're seeing, what we're feeling in the game. And unless Massive comes out and says this is what they're doing, that's what they're doing. All of these data mine change notes and stuff like that, that's all the stuff that they've put into the game so far. And that's what's currently in the update. And they really want you to just test things out. And when I say that, the ammo capacity has been raised, it's most likely going to stay that way. There's nothing that I'm going to tell you that's 100% because I know for a fact that this is just a test. They're just testing stuff to see what works. And if the ammo capacity being where it is works for what it is, most likely they'll keep it there. Just like when the G36, they reduced the scaling factor from 1.4 to 1.33. It's a negative 5% reduction. Will they keep it there? Who knows? It depends highly on how the test goes. Light machine guns, the RPK 74 has been increased by 8.6%. The M60 increased 29%. LA 86 has been increased 7.4%. So there is a lot of things being increased. It looks from this, the M60 is going to be a huge increase. I'd love to get one in the game. I haven't got one yet. I'd love to get one in the game just to try it out. Pistols, the biggest one is the X45 drop, and it's been a 40% drop, and the PX4 has been a 25% increase, while the M9 family has a 10% increase. And that's really just to make them more balanced with each other. Shotguns have been unchanged. I don't see a world where a lot of this has been, and we've already seen this. I've already seen posts on Reddit where it says that shotguns are getting a 35% decrease in damage, which there's no fact out there that says that they're going to be decreased. There's nothing, none of this. The M1A family, the scaling of being 35% decrease to that, who knows? The SRS being 20% increase, it's quite possible that if any of this stuff works, it's going to stay in the game. If it doesn't work, it's not going to. Now, I do disagree with the decrease of the SMG to 20%. Like the 20% decrease on the SMGs, I already think that all of the SMGs are underpowered, and all Massive did was go ahead and decrease them. SMG 9, 20% decrease. Burst MP5, 11%. Okay, one of them was increased. The Burst MP5 was increased by 11%. Who cares? That's insane. Like nobody used the Burst MP5. It was a horrible gun to begin with. The 11% increase isn't going to change the fact that nobody likes that gun. The MP5, 18.6% decrease. PP19, 24.2% decrease. The AUG, 20% decrease. Vector, 20% decrease. MP7, 31.1% decrease. T821, 23.4% decrease. They nerfed every single submachine gun in this game, and they made them terrible. Like, I'm looking at them, and I understand what they're doing, but that is a terrible idea. They were already underpowered, and now they are basically just, they might as well be, pistols at this point, because that is really what it is. And even some of the weapon damage, or the weapon talents, have been nerfed as well. The accuracy bonus has been reduced so the weapon talent accuracy bonus reduced from 45 to 48 to 25%. So it's a 25% accuracy now. So all of this stuff, and brutal. Headshot damage from 23 to 25% has now been reduced to 12%. That is these are huge nerfs. Like, I don't understand why they're making such huge nerfs. I do understand it because they've decreased the amount of health and stuff like that. But basically what you're doing is you're making the same game. Like, you're taking the game and you've reduced the enemy hit points, and now you've reduced all of these talents and damage and stuff like that. And it's made it so that you're basically making a balanced increase to the game. And I don't understand that. I mean, sure, there's things like proficient where the bonus to critical hit chance is increased to 50%. And, it's just, there are so many things, and I'm not going to go through all these weapon talents because I'm sure that they're going to change. But when you balance the game and you take and you decrease the thing that everybody says wasn't working, which is enemy health and enemy armor and enemy, firepower, the DPS that the enemy's throwing off, and you decrease all of the agent stuff, that's not gonna work. Like, you're just going and resetting everything so that it's just a lower level. Like, I don't understand how it's gonna really work, but it feels good in the game right now. Like, it feels good, so I'm just gonna go with it. Like, it looks terrible on paper, so do not go with what is on the paper. Like, and a lot of this is gonna change. I promise you. This is just the first test of the many. They've said it's coming out, 1.4 is coming out in October. It's still the end of September. They got another week before they even can think about releasing 1.4, and they even will probably go a couple weeks into October to make more adjustments. They're going to get the feedback from the PTS after this week, and then they're going to make more adjustments. So hold on to your hats. Don't go ahead and jump the gun and start claiming that you know one thing or the other, because you don't. Nothing is set in stone. There is nothing in stone that is going to make this game the way it is now. They're not releasing this patch next week. They have a long way to go before they can release this to the public. So just go ahead and sit tight. Take everything that you hear on all of these streams and all of these videos with a grain of salt. Like, I'm looking at the data mined stuff, and a lot of the stuff is on lots of different videos, but it's all going to change most likely just to balance everything out. You know that's going to change. I can tell you it's going to change. Lots of people are putting up videos that are basically saying, these are set in stone. Here, I've come down off the mountain. These are set in stone. It's not. It's not set in stone. Nothing is set in stone. If you don't like the way something is working right now, go to the forums. Tell them about it. Say, this doesn't work for me. This is not working. I do not like the way this is handling. I don't like the DPS on this. It's too little. And they will listen to you right now, because this is the time for going in and testing it out and figuring it out and going in and then telling them that you don't like something. So that's really what it is. I encourage everybody to go in and just do that. I know I've spent 8 minutes here telling you that nothing of this is real, but some of it is. Some of it's going to stay. Some of it's going to increase. Some of it's going to decrease. It's all going to be based on your feedback. So please, after you're done playing the PTS, go to the forums and make sure that you express your opinion about this stuff, because that's the way it's going to change. That's the way you're going to get your changes across. They're listening to everyone. They're not listening to YouTubers. They don't care about the videos. Sure, they're probably listening to like Skill Up and stuff like that, but that doesn't matter. They're not, when Skill Up comes on and says that, these are the changes to the weapons, that's not, he's doing the same thing I'm doing. He's reading off of a list of stuff that's basically a cliff notes of what's changed and what they said, what Massive has said is changing, but they're going to change it based on your tests. So don't believe everything you hear. Nothing. Even the ammo stuff that I talked about yesterday, that is all the stuff that's currently in the game right now. That doesn't mean it's going to be in the final build. I hope it is. For our sake. For our sake, I hope it is. The ammo capacity is being increased for players at level 30. That would be awesome. I would love that. That is the way it is, and like right now the mitigation cap has been reduced from 75% to 60% for armor mitigation. That's probably not going to change. I don't know if it is or not, but I'm going to tell you this, it could very well change. Who knows? Anyways, thank you. That's my time. I'm going to let you guys go because I've rambled on long enough. Thank you very much for watching this. If you enjoyed this video and you gave you a little glimpse into what's going to change and what's real and what's not, drop a like on this, subscribe to our channel for more Division content, and we'll see you in the next video. Mountie out.